right, Gilbert, we're ready to start your time. You'll start your 10 minutes on the mark. And you understand all of the obstacles, correct? All right, so Gilbert, your time starts right now.
Gilbert's horse has been a little bit of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde this weekend. At times very relaxed and compliant. At times irritated, resistant. Slip that one right up on him. Gilbert did his homework on that one. Stepping up on a platform on something that makes a loud noise and is not solid ground is a lot to ask of a horse, especially one that's fairly broke. Funny how every horse is different in what bothers him or doesn't bother him. This horse, Gilbert taught him to go over the tarp, and he went over the tarp so nicely and not afraid of that plastic. But a little ground pole laying on the ground worries him. I think a horse that's not afraid of plastic is a pretty good thing. Saw a little licking and chewing after that plastic. That was good. He says, "I'll throw the rope, Gilbert, you just sit there." Horse has a nice look about him now. He's paying attention to what Gilbert's doing, but he's not really worried about it. He's at the scariest place in the arena. That's really nice. Got a horse that's attentive and alert, but standing willingly. Nice forward movement. It's nice to get him out of the round pen and give him someplace to go, which in his opinion he would prefer to be straight towards the gate.
5 minutes, Gilbert.
And that's nothing unusual. All horses suffer from gate gravity. I know some very, very broke horses that have less control around the gate than this one. I always tell people with the really, really easy horses, you know, your horse is not broke until he does something, until you make him do something he doesn't want to do. And clearly that horse didn't want to leave the gate, but Gilbert persisted, and that horse learned something from that. He learned he doesn't get a vote. This is a really tough thing we're asking these colts to do, especially when that rope comes across the hip like that. It's a brave man that takes a dally on a colt that's only been ridden one time. We'll hold the applause, but the easy thing to do right now would be to make a right-hand turn. But Gilbert turns left a little bit. That rope switches sides on the horse. That's pretty scary. See if he can back him up, drag the log towards him. And that reverse gear works so well in the round pen. That was a pretty impressive display. Gilbert says, "Nope, you don't get to go towards the gate as fast as you want." What a nice job. How are we doing on time, Wayne?
Well, we're about a minute and a half. I was going to give him the 1 minute and just 30 seconds. How's that?
I'm telling you what, these are some impressive horses.
One minute, Gilbert, right now.
Can't brag on the horses without bragging on the trainers. Again, this is Gilbert Gonzales from Deering, Georgia. One thing that really impressed me about Gilbert is when he told me, you know, this is not about training horses. When he was talking about his business, he said, really, it's more about training people. It's not the horses that have the problem. And I think for a trainer to recognize that you can't just train the horses, you have to train the people too, is pretty impressive. You never know when you might need to pick an apple off a high tree.
Well, that's perfect, Gilbert, because that is time right there. Thank you, Gilbert.
All right, that's Gilbert Gonzales. He's been training and riding VSH Ring of Fire. Gilbert, by the way, his color is red. You're going to have an opportunity to vote for these guys on just this portion of the competition. Gilbert's color will be red. If you wish to vote for Gilbert at the end of this, Brock